Tonight, from Lumen Field in Seattle, it's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. It's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to the Pacific Northwest, the home of the 12s, and they are in full roar as you get a look inside Lumen Field in Seattle. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And now it gets real, because as a rookie quarterback, all those accolades and great performances in the regular season, they essentially go right out the window. They get erased, and you have to start over. Played extremely well to get the team the #1 seed and the first-round bye, but this is where he proves himself as a quarterback in the NFL. In the playoffs, and can he win games?
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Off the play fake. Hall rolling to his right. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. Past the 20, and all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 36 yards on the play.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And the Seahawks are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Scoring first, so critical in the postseason. They've got it here, first and goal. Walker will take this into the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. So they take the opening kickoff and drive it all the way down the field.
And that's the last thing you want defensively. On the road, in the playoffs, and now you're down a touchdown right away.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance.
And if he and his guys want to spring the upset here in the second round and move on, they've got to focus on the good that they did in the wild card victory. At the top of that list, protecting the football. Got a little careless last week. A few got away from him. Might not be so fortunate this time around. And if that's the case, they'll end up going home.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. Now former 6th-round pick, it's Elijah Mitchell. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Lance now to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Weaver. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Here comes the 49ers punter now. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. Well, just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
Catch is made by Metcalf. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. 53 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead. The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. That right there makes up for that missed extra point they had after the first score.
Yeah, they went ahead and got back to level by going for 2 and having the normal amount of points, so that works out pretty well for them. And if you're the kicker, don't worry about it too much. Now they've got back to where they want to be, he'll trot out there for the next one.
Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Uses the spin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Hall throwing on first down. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Seahawks continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Hill will opt for the touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And work with me here. Is this overhyped or not? You've got a warm weather team on the road in January, and it's cold. What's the deal? Is that a factor or is it not a factor?
I think a lot of it depends on the personality of your head coach and how you prepare for things. And some things you just can't prepare for. If you're coming from a warm weather site, you can't make it cold enough like it is here in this ball game. But what you can do is just tell the guys, dress for the weather and then play like we always play. And as the game goes along, typically those guys out there playing, you warm up enough that it really shouldn't affect you quite the same way. Now, if that's all you talk about, if you put that in the heads of your players, it'll affect them in a big way.
Throwing his Lance on third down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. Now the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10. They find some open field here. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks continue to pull away here in this first half. It's not too often that you say, hey, this one's going to be over by halftime. And, CD, I know our bosses probably don't want us to say that because they don't want people clicking away, but this one might be over by halftime.
And since you already put your job on the line by actually saying it, I will co-sign and go with you because you're my partner. We don't mean to do it, but this game has been exactly as you've described. I see no hope for them going forward.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Looking to throw again on second down. Lance. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
48 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Again, Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Niners ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC divisional round game. And it's the Carolina Panthers who are moving on as they knock off the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest, but now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now, because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run over center with Mitchell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play. So now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Now Lance. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they've pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it is 42-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's DK Metcalf who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Hill will opt for the touchback. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. And things just kind of continuing to unravel for them here in this second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turned the ball over.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. And quickly, they get to the line. Here's Hall. Off play action. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Oh, what a move. Oh, he's got some breathing room. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Frankly, I don't know that this defense knows what to do anymore. Just look at their body language out there. The passing game has absolutely been relentless throughout.
Here's Walker. 72 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing again on second down. Lance dancing to his left. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Again, it's Lance. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, 45 yards. And the 49ers are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. And out now come the Seahawks. And they have made this look easy. I mean, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantages and all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Hall. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some touchdown.
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this 4th quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. Hill going to think better of bringing this one out, and the drive will start at the 25. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Escaping the pressure. Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Back to Walker on 1st down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now Hall. Going to throw on 3rd and goal. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Now for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To throw again on second down. Lance. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. To throw, it's Lance. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Sticking with Walker on second down. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now it looks like he'll throw here. On the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Able to slither by. He's got room past the 30. So a holding penalty, and that'll send him backwards.
You know they're trying not to do that. I mean, we know that, right? We talk to them all the time. But sometimes the defensive guys just put you in awkward situations, and you get caught grabbing their jerseys.
Drops this underneath. It's Mitchell. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks. And Lance going to throw. Screenplay setting it up for Mitchell. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. First down. The Seahawks, they are moving on as we say so long, everybody. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.